if you ever gave me your heart, I won't embarrass you. And I don't think he getting sex.
Alright, so what's good, y'all? Got a new video, man. So, for this one, I'm going to be breaking down the expenses of the Corvette, how much the Corvette costs, insurance, monthly payments, everything you would need to know if you wanted to buy a Corvette. I was struggling when I was researching to find any information whatsoever on the ranges of how much these things cost, how much it costs to maintain. It just wasn't too much out there just due to it being a newer car and not as many people having it. So I wanted to bring that resource so that if there is somebody that's looking to buy a Corvette, they have a good idea of how much it may cost and, you know, what they're getting themselves into. So for informational purposes only, this isn't about boasting or money amounts or nothing of that nature. I'm extremely blessed to be where I'm at, and I'm thankful that I am able to meet these requirements. So first, we got the window sticker here. This is just how much the car came as far as MSRP from the manufacturer. So this is the recommended price from the manufacturer. So just not too much really to look at here and shit. The car as built for the manufacturer, $83,090 would have been the MSRP for this specific car. It was built in Kentucky. So it was built in Kentucky. It came from Arkansas, so definitely a long ways away. So $83,090. All right, moving on. All right, so right here we have the actual breakdown of what I paid. So as you can see there, the $83.90 is the MSRP. At the time when I bought this car, they were marking up cars. It was a market adjustment. They were hard to get, so they were charging more for the cars than what they were actually worth. I had to pay a $7,500 markup. So that's just purely a fee that was charged by the dealership. This is probably where I fucked up with this car, honestly. Was really pressed to get the car, and eventually markets change. So now at this point, like if I were to buy the same car at this point, you can get it for lower than MSRP or at MSRP. So I paid $7,500 to get it earlier. At that current time, though, the markups were insane for C8s. It was about $20,000, $15,000, $10,000. I live in the DMV area, so they just be taxing on everything. Everything's expensive as fuck. Once I heard the $7,500 markup, it was the cheapest out of all of the other markups I've been told. So the cars were selling really quickly. So I felt that, you know, this is the best deal I was going to get. I was going to find nothing lower than a $7,500 markup. Also, the color. The car was rare as far as color. Couldn't find too many of these cars with the yellow. All right, so the total purchase price would have been $90,590. Service and handling $129. Sales tax here in Maryland is 6%, so that was $5,435, and that left me with a total balance of $96,154. So unfortunately, it is not a six-figure car. It's about $3,000 off. So yeah, that's the breakdown as far as the actual cost of the car itself. We can move forward to the other entities that go along with it. All right, so here's a breakdown of my loan. The loan amount was $81,561. So the total cost was $96,000. I put down $15,000 in the car. So I paid $15,000 down payment, and the rest of it came from the loan, which would have been the $81,561 and 14 cents. My interest rate was 5.44. At the time, that was mid. I was trying to get like a 4%, but unfortunately, I was unable to do it due to the interest rate. The financial charge is $14,000. So my total payments is going to be $96,000, right? So if I make all, it's a 72-month thing, a 72-month loan. If I make all the payments, my final payment will be in 2029. And I would have paid $96,000. So the goal is to pay it off before I get to that point. Interest rate is okay. Like I said, I mean, it's not the best, but it's not 20% either. So it's okay. It definitely affected the payment. I had another interest rate at about 2.9%. That would have brought the payments down to about $1,100. So interest rate does play a big role in the payments, but I currently pay $1,333.89 a month to own the Corvette. Moving on, we have the insurance. So here's the insurance information. I have 2 cars, so we're gonna focus solely on the Corvette. The Corvette insurance is for 6 months, so 6 months policy is $1692.35, which equates to $282.06 a month for 6 months. Insurance is honestly pretty low, truthfully. It could be a lot higher. I've been with Geico for a long period of time, so it definitely contributes to why the payment is lower compared to my age group and how I think this in general, car insurance is expensive as shit. And I also have multiple policies with Geico, so homeowners insurance and things of that nature that factor into the rate. This is minimum state coverage, $500 deductible for collision, $250 for comprehensive. So if we take $282.06 and then we do $133.89, so $282.06 plus one. What is it? 282. What is it? 130. What is it? It's something. 133.89. 133.89. The total amount to own the Corvette monthly is $1,615.95. That of course that's just the car note and the insurance. Doesn't include maintenance, doesn't include gas, and all the other little commodities that come with the car. I'm happy with my decision. I will say that. I have enjoyed the car to its fullest. I feel like it's worth every penny. I wish that I wouldn't have had to pay the markup, but just in that general market, that's just what I was going to pay. My fear is that if anything does happen to the car, I'm probably going to end up breaking even because I paid more for the car, but then I put the down payment. So I think it evened it out, but I don't believe that I'm going to have more value in the car than what I owe. So it's one of those situations where I don't think I'm going to sell the car. I'm just going to end up holding on to it unless there's a particular situation raises about. And then if anything happens as far as the car being totaled out, the value of the car, I have no clue. I tried to put it into CarMax and Carvana and Vroom. It's like, man, we got to see this junk before we give you an estimate, just to get a general idea of how much the car is worth. And they didn't give me anything, but overall $1,615.95. All right, guys, so overall it's expensive to own, but it's not as expensive as a lot of people would think. I do believe that it's the type of purchase where you should already have like a housing situation put into place before you do it, because that amount of money could easily get, you know, an apartment, and you could do a lot of other things with that amount of money, but it's not outlandish. One thing I will recommend is that you keep in mind your other finances. So of course the car alone ain't gonna kill nobody, but it's all of the revolving parts as far as, you know, insurance, phone bills, other responsibilities where like that shit all add up and now it's overwhelming. You know, you don't want to acquire something and struggle to have it, right? You want to do it comfortably. So I feel like when you're looking at the numbers, you shouldn't look at it versus a maximum standpoint, but more of like, okay, I'd be comfortable with like half or something of that nature. So just a little bit of advice for me. The 16 is worth it. You know, I feel like I made a decision that was good for my happiness. Now, could I have waited longer to get a better deal? Yes. But at that period of time, I had a lot of things going on, mortgages. I was pulling a lot of pulls on my credit, so I wanted to do it all at once so that my lower credit score wouldn't affect the other things that I was trying to do, because I wait more time than my interest rate was going to go up and things of that nature, but they probably ended up getting me with the markup anyway. So just utilize your resources, your information to make the best decision, and whatever decision you make, just stick with it. Put your all into it, and it'll work out. So that's really all that I got. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. If there's any questions about the C8, you can put it in the comments on maintenance and things like that. I do plan on making a video about the maintenance. Maintenance is crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Tires, brakes, that shit, that's a whole nother ball game, and that's something that you should take into effect when also buying a car as well. This is how much that shit costs. So I'm gonna make a video breaking it down, but it's definitely a hefty price as far as maintaining the car, depending on how you drive it. I drive the car very aggressively. I currently have about 17,000 miles in the car, and I've went through quite a bit of maintenance items already where I've had to put a lot of money into the car. So more to come.